So hello and welcome to an update video here about Tone TE Food Tether. We look at it from a technical point of view, not fundamentally. It is the only chart that I can access here on TradingView. KuCoin, TE Food or Tone USDT. So we look at it from various angles. We look at the chart from an Elliott wave count point of view, but also generally at support resistance levels, volume and other indicators to give a proper TA here covering most important aspects. So looking at, we start again just with critical price levels in the chart in itself. So from the chart point of view, it started here in October 21. There is no previous chart history, so that is probably when it started. Can't access previous price history. So from here, yeah, it moved all the way up. The all-time high was pretty much here 10 cents. And from here it started together with the other cryptocurrencies sort of in autumn, the long correction. And since then it has not really recovered. Pretty much you could say that since January, it has only moved sideways, which is actually quite strong, I would say. I mean, compared to the other cryptocurrencies that have dropped much more, you could really say we have been in this overall range that you can see here on the chart between the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level and the 61.8% level. So in this whole range. Consequently, to give me confidence that we go back into an uptrend, it would be useful to break back above that level, on a sustainable basis, which means we need to break above it and hold that level, which is at 3.8 cents. The 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, we want to get above that, retest it ideally, hold it, which means we break above it substantially, and then we can move up from here. Overall, it is too early to confirm if we have already seen the low and the overall low here on the chart. But let's take a look at it. So by the way, the low was here at 0.8 of a cent. Here we had a double bottom here on the 12th of May and 28th of May, roughly in this time period. You could say this was a double bottom, possible reversal pattern. It is actually quite good. What I always like to see when we have a double bottom, it is good to see if the second low is slightly lower than the first one, or at least, the same. Because what you often see, the problem that you sometimes see, if you have a W like this and the second one is not as low, this often doesn't give a proper reversal. This one here looks definitely interesting. So that's just in terms of the patterns here, that we had a possible reversal pattern and critical support and resistance level we can put on the charts now. So the critical support level is here that the 0.832 of a cent level. So we'll put that on the chart. Obviously, going below that level will invalidate here any bullish uptrend. Then, in terms of support, we've got here the 50-day moving average that you can see on the chart, which is currently at 0.17 cent. And then we have even made it above the 78.6% Fib level. So that is also a highly relevant level. And we are currently retesting this. So that is the 2.1 cent level. These are critical support levels on the chart here. In terms of resistance, we are pretty much here at a key resistance level. We bounced off it. So it's a bit of a range. And I'm currently on the daily chart, but it is a little bit of a range. Starting here, I would say at 3 cents, going all the way up to 3.4. So there's a bit of a range of resistance here on the chart that we will need to overcome before we even can get to the 61.8% Fib level. So I would say this range is, here between 3 cents and 3.4 cents. Critical resistance on the way up. And then we've got here the 3.8 cent level, the 5 cent level. And when we get above that level anyway, I think then we have a lot of the downside potential overcome. Last real test on the way up before we get to the all-time high will be this swing high here, which is also the 23.6% Fib level at 7.6 cents. So these are sort of the key resistance levels. And we must say, I mean, looking at the chart, it is starting to look interesting. We're making here a series of higher highs and higher lows. And we must say, it's starting to look interesting, especially as since the low, TE Food or Tone has made to the high, a whopping 317%. that is definitely much more powerful than a lot of the other coins that I would normally cover. Highly relevant also this trend line. So by all means, take this trend line on your chart. A pullback to a trend line like this is always a trading opportunity. It's a trade setup, no financial advice, but it is a possible trade setup because a pullback to a trend line, as you can see here and here, can result in a bounce to the upside. So ideally then waiting for a bullish signal like a engulfing green candle, for example, could indicate that we are moving higher from here. Yeah, so it's, however, we need to be on the side of caution because this could be also seen as a little bit of a, yeah, maybe an ascending, well, actually you see it more like a channel here. Yeah, bit difficult to say depending on if you use those daily candle closes or the wicks. But no, overall, yeah, as long as we are above this trend line, we're obviously moving higher. A break of the trend line would indicate that immediate uptrend here is over for now. Looking at this from, so yeah, just to summarize here, we emphasize here the key support levels, key resistance levels. This is the definite next resistance box we need to get through. But then from here, yeah, if we make it above 3.4 and then also the 3.8 cent level, even though I would rate the 3.4 cent level here, that range, as more relevant, then I think we can be more confident about an uptrend. At the moment, it's still, as you can see here, we're sort of still below that resistance box, and that makes it a bit difficult. Yeah, we're just below resistance, and I would want to see first a break above that resistance level with a retest to be more confident into a more sustainable uptrend. At the moment, we are on a good way. Yeah, we have made significant profits on the way up. We have seen volume as well. Absolutely, volume is going up here, definitely. And we are above the 50-day moving average, and that is quite powerful. Not many cryptocurrencies currently are above this 50-day moving average. Now, where are we in terms of the Elliott wave count? So here, generally, from a higher level point of view, what we have seen is that we could count this, what happened here, that is the first wave. Yeah, so a wave one, a bullish wave one to the upside. So just to show you that, from the low here, a 1, all of this here probably a 2, that's how I would see it. Then next would be a wave 3, then a wave 4 down, and a wave 5 up. Now, wave 2, could it be complete already? I would say so. We would count this as an A, B, C wave, an ABC pattern. Different ways of counting this. But what is relevant is that this here was a double bottom. We've certainly come into critical areas for a trend reversal here, just below the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. We can count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and then this was the wave A, yeah, or we can even count here just the, yeah, no, that's fine, the wave A. Then we have here an A, B, C, which was the B wave, and then we count this here possibly as a 1, 2, another 1, 2, then a 3, 4, and 5. So we could definitely say there is a good chance at the moment that the low is already in. However, I need to tell you very clearly, unless we break above this resistance level substantially, we can still be in this sort of corrective wave pattern because we're still here in a range at the moment. So that means we could already be in the third wave. The third wave target, we can do that here. The third wave target would be at least 17 cents. So this is obviously the next larger wave and shows the potential where the price could go to at least that level. Yeah, altcoins normally do a little bit more, maybe the 200% or the 2.618 FIB extension, that would be 27 cents. Okay, so this is what we can expect. Lower the market cap, the higher normally what they can do. Yeah, so even the 3.618 is absolutely possible. This is sort of the minimum what we would expect. And within the wave 3, we could now obviously be in this uptrend. That is technically possible. For that, we can go to the 2-hour chart, take a look at the waves. And what we can see here is certainly something interesting. So let's take a look from the low here. What have we done? In my opinion, yeah, this is a 5-wave move up. So you had your wave 1 up, and then here an A, B, C. Yeah, possibly here some kind of a, let me just check that. So yeah, here, but this is definitely a 5-wave move to the upside. And this could have been the ABC. Then you have a 1, 2 here, probably another 1, 2. This here could even be a 3, 4. Yeah, because we have not come into the previous price region of the 1, 4, and then we have moved up but didn't make a higher high. Could technically be a wave 5 with a truncated wave arrangement, but so basically to count all of this here, what has come up as a wave 1, but then we're coming down again in a wave 2. This must be another 1, 2 because we're coming down too much. So from that point of view, this would be, if you have a 1, 2 and a 1, 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 setups, that could, if you get too many 1, 2s, it will get unrealistic, but 3, 1, 2 setups, I would say possible, which means it would be very bullish because all these 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 waves, they will always all need a 3, a 4 and a 5, which, which indicates this could be a very long extended wave to the upside if this is the bullish scenario. And we can already see here currently the pullback to the trend line results currently in green candles. Now at the moment you can see they have been rejected at this trend line. So this needs to be observed. Yeah, when we get back above the trend line here, that could then be a possible entry point for a trade all the way up here into that red resistance box, for example. Or obviously from a longer term point of view, with a perspective to possibly break this and move higher. This is sort of what we can see here. So there is, in my opinion, a good chance, but requirement is that we break above this red level here. The chart looks stronger than of many other cryptocurrency charts, I can tell you that. And there is certainly a case that can be made for the low has been in. Ideally, we want to obviously hold here that 0.8 of a cent level because there isn't really any support level down here anymore left. So for now, we are on the good way and we see possible reversal patterns here with this W pattern, with this double bottom and good price action since then. Absolutely. What we need to do now is go through this resistance box. This is for the bulls, the next target level. And we can also take a look here on the longer term indicators. Maybe the daily will be helpful. Now here we can see on the daily, the green line is coming closer to the red line, which is not necessarily good. But if this is just a pullback to a trend line and we have a reversal to the upside, I wouldn't worry about that because a bearish crossover here could obviously lead to a short signal. Here, the daily RSI is holding above the 50 level, which is sort of bullish at the moment. And again, if we hold the trend here, go higher, then this will peak again, which is good as well. We don't see currently a bearish divergence, which is good as well. And here the MACD has turned bearish now. But again, we are here pulling back to a trend line. It's always important to understand the context. And a pullback to a trend line can be a possible trade setup to the upside as long as the trend line holds. Yeah. And the good thing is certainly that we have the 50-day moving average now as support. I think when that is lost again, when we lose the 50-day moving average, which is currently here located at 1.7 cents, that would be quite a bearish signal. And then we'll pull back to the 1.2 cent level and then possibly even lower. But for now, we need to understand that from here to the low that has been made, it's another 70% drop. So it has really, it has been holding really well, I must say. Actually quite surprised. Looking at here more the longer term view on the 4-day chart, we can see that we had a bullish crossover here on the ADX already end of May, which has been a good buy signal. Yeah, this was a good buy signal. The RSI is also above 50, so it's all looking good here from that point of view. And maybe we'll even cross the 0 line here on the MACD. And probably the weekly is not much point in looking at because of the short price history. But even here, we are above 50 on the RSI. So generally, the chart looks, in my opinion, much better than many other cryptocurrencies do. Requirement is to hold here first, the 78.6% fib level would be important. But very crucial would be to hold the 50-day moving average. And on the way up, we need to break this resistance level. Above that, I think a lot of the downside pressure will be gone and we could enter a more sustainable uptrend. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.